had to get on screen for this one, Jack. Uh, I I can't make it more plain. I'll splice the video edit in here. Biden blew it. Biden blew it. We're looking at the United States chart today. As you can see, the moon over here is in the first house. Issues with debt, um, resources from our allies and partnerships and things like that. And the moon made an opposition to Venus. Venus rules the sixth house of banks, military, things like that. So a lot of U.S. bases getting attacked. And the moon rules the eighth house of death because it has Cancer on the cusp. You see they're shipping people back from overseas, casualties. They're not gonna stop attacking bases in Iraq. The military said that they would pull out of Iraq, and if they don't do it promptly, it's gonna be a lot more people dead. That's the reality of the situation. And we're moving to a full moon with the United States this evening, so you can expect to see on the news the deaths of the soldiers and troops overseas being highlighted on the news and stuff like that, and also the United States pulling away from some of its allies. Yesterday, Mercury was opposite Uranus. Mercury rules the seventh house of the United States allies, and it rules war. Yesterday, they made a statement against Israel and said, the Israeli occupation are, doing things they asked them not to do, and that could escalate the situation over there. They don't want smoke, man. I'm telling you, they don't want smoke. And Biden. Let's just jump into the facts about the Biden situation. Now, China's President Xi has had no connections to the U.S. or anything like that in a minute. No diplomatic, ain't nothing happening. No communication between the military, nothing. Because the United States continues to sell weapons to the Chinese province of Taiwan. So when he come over here for APEC. APEC is the Asian Pacific Economic Conference, and this is a very important conference because 50% of the goods from around the world that are circulating in the economy come from Asia, from this group. You understand me? That's half the shit in the world. So when you look at it like that, it's a very important meeting, and it happened in San Francisco. So, this was an opportunity for some face-to-face diplomacy between the presidents, and everything in the meetings went well. After the meeting, Joe Biden goes on TV and calls President Xi a dictator several times. As you can see from the video that got spliced in, he was acting crazy, and Blinken was looking at him in the video, and you can find it all over the internet. It's all over the internet. Like, he embarrassed the nation, acting like a child in a high-level diplomatic meeting. The man has dementia. I've told you guys this before. And in a couple videos ago, I made about his health, and things about his health gonna come out in the end of the month, about 2 weeks from now, man. Blinken was awestruck. He watched that man the whole meeting like that, like, what is he gonna do? And I will tell you this, man. President Xi didn't come over here with any expectations of real progress. He came over here to send a message to the United States. And in that message, he said, we opened up China to you. We did this for you. And friendship was cold, and it has to thaw slow. But when we open our hand to you, just know that it won't happen again. And even after getting this clear conversation, this dude goes on national TV and calls this man a dictator. And you can find clips all over YouTube of Anthony Blinken's face when he called President Xi a dictator after a very progressive meeting. It's over with, man. And the Chinese Secretary of State, I believe it's Wang, Minister Wang, he said flat out that's calling President Xi a dictator is an unacceptable statement. So that was a real diplomatic faux pas, a real big mistake. Big mistake, man. And you are going to see the Republicans capitalize off of this. The Republican Party is ruled by the fourth house because they are not the party in control of the government right now. So Mars rules that fourth house. It's in the 12th house. They got some secret operations going on. And then a lot of their secrets are being exposed. You see the sun conjunct Mars in the 12th, secrets being exposed. What's the guy's name? He just got exposed for spending campaign funds on OnlyFans subscriptions, man. Like, how you gonna take your government credit card, campaign credit card, and subscribe to a bunch of freaky shit on OnlyFans? Man, so that's secrets are coming out. That's all I'm gonna tell you, and more stuff is gonna come out about the debt, because it's making a trine to the part of fortune and vertex in the 8th house, which rules death, debt, resources of our allies. You're seeing that they passed the bill to fund the government up until the 24th, and they didn't include no money for Israel or Ukraine. And that go up for Biden tonight, and he probably won't sign that. So we got Venus up here in the 10th house of the United States chart. Again, Venus rules the 5th house. That's the stock market. That's investments. That's how the nation markets itself to the world. And the 6th house, the health of the nation. You're going to see an uptick in illness, healthcare system problems, pharmaceutical recalls. Now Venus and the 6th house also rules police, firefighters, and military. Venus is in the 10th house. These things are going to be highlighted. It's making a square to the sun. Affairs overseas with the military. Yeah, they don't tighten up real fast. They gonna get tightened up. I'm trying to tell you, they hitting them up every day. That's reality. I get news from all over the world, man. Pay attention to news from all over the world. In the next 4 days, Venus will conjoin Saturn. Saturn rules the president. Saturn in the 10th house, it rules the president, and it rules the 2nd house, the values and the money of the nation. This is going to come to the forefront. The nation the United States supporting Israel's Zionist occupation of Palestine. You know, the barbarian nature, the bombing out hospitals, refusing to tell them to give humanitarian aid and all type of stuff like this when they're supposed to be the champion of human rights. You're about to see the United States reputation get devastated. It started about 5 days ago. You start seeing this being highlighted. It's about to come to the height, and it's really going to look bad. And the things Biden did is going to really look bad on the country, man. And it's going to make a square to the sun. The sun rules the ninth house. You're going to see a lot of information get published, dog. You might see Biden get impeached in the next 2 weeks, and not just on criminal shit with him and his son and his family, mental health stuff. They're gonna come with a 1-2 punch on that nigga. They're gonna come to with 1-2 punch on Jim Crow Joe. I'm trying to tell you. And then Venus. Venus is the first planet that crossed over the eclipse, and that's in about 12 days. That eclipse point, that Mayot eclipse. Whole lot of justice finna come. And when I say justice, I ain't talking about, worldly courts. Some divine justice and order is about to be laid down. Some people call it karma. Some people call it karma, man. It ain't gonna be pretty. Ain't gonna be pretty, Jack. Yep. And this Mars and Sun, it's about to make a nice sextile to Pluto in the second house. Old dirty secrets. Republicans, because they're about to do some things that make the Democrats do some things. Y'all about to see some civil war come out in the Congress and shit like that, exposing people's secrets, leaks, a whole lot of leaks, Jack. Whole lot of leaks being published, financing being published, and speaking of, there has been a new organization called the Olive Leaf or Olive Tree or something like that is exposing all U.S. politicians who are funded by Zionists. Ooh, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly here, man. I'm trying to tell you. And then Mercury is about to be conjunct the United States. It is conjunct the United States ascendant. It's going to move into the first house in about 3 days, 2.5 days. Man, it just moved from an opposition to Neptune. You seeing the type of stuff on the news that's confusing you and not making sense. Yeah. The psyops and mind games are about to get real. About to get real, and you're going to see some static with them and their allies. It's going to pour out into the public in the next 2 weeks. Before 2 weeks. About 9-10 days. Today is the 16th, so around the 24th, 25th, it's going to be an interesting fucking Thanksgiving. That's what I tell you, Jack. I guarantee you it's going to be interesting as fuck. Man, let me fast forward this chart about 9 days. So that'll put about 4 degrees Sagittarius. See what we looking like over here. So November 26th, the Sun and Mars getting ready to move into an opposition with Uranus. Mercury just hit an opposition to Mars, probably on the 24th. Yep, about the 24th. Yeah, it's finna get interesting, Jack. It's gonna get interesting. Up, and that's the day, November 26th. That's the day the Venus conjoins the eclipse point. It starts making that square to Mercury, which rules the seventh house of war and allies. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It is gonna be interesting to say the least, Jack. And I gotta look at China's chart and Russia's chart. But we gonna we gonna get back to that, man, because it's a whole lot of shit going on the table, man. And this ain't no chessboard. It's a big ass poker game. It's a big ass poker game, and I tell you what, man. I tell you what. This Mayot eclipse, when Venus hit this, you gonna find out. You're gonna find out who really running the show in this country. Some interesting shit. I'm trying to tell you. Real interesting. Because that day, Neptune, it rules this intercepted Pisces house right here. And Pisces is intercepting the United States third house. I always tell y'all this is a nation built on lies, deception, witchcraft, and more. And more. And they use it to control the minds of the people. That's why Pisces is hidden in the third house, intercepted. Now this Neptune is making a trine to Mercury in the eighth house. Mercury rules war. Mercury rules war. Our allies in the eighth house is the house of death. It's the house of debt too. Some deceptive shit's finna go down, man. Some crazy fucking deceptive shit's finna go down. Venus is trine Mars that day also. Venus up here in the 10th house. Trine Mars. Mars again is the ruler of the 4th house, which I told you represents the party that ain't in power and Republicans and shit, man. Venus rules the 6th house with military and police, man. Look, man, some interesting shit. Some interesting shit might unfold, Jack. I'm trying to tell you. It's going to be interesting. Stay tuned, man. And if you want to get your own personal astrology reading, you can book that at redclawconjure.com. If you want other services, book a consultation. www.redclawconjure.com.